Hi, and welcome to another episode of Healthy Home Cooking. Today we're going to be making stromboli. Not the healthiest option, I do have to admit, but it is very kid friendly. Okay, the first thing we need to make the stromboli is some plastic wrap, some frozen bread dough, and some non-stick cooking spray. First, you're going to spray some dinner plates. Make sure you coat every part of the plate. The frozen dough is going to be put on these plates to defrost. And if you miss a spot, then your dough is going to stick to the plate, which isn't the end of the world, but it will make your life a little more difficult. Then after the dough is on the plate, you're going to spray that. And that is so that the plastic wrap that's going to cover the plate doesn't stick to the dough. And again, it's not the end of the world if you miss the spot, but it will make your life easier if you don't. Now for the plastic wrap, just stretch it over. We're coming to the end of the roll here, so it's going to give me a little bit of trouble. And then seal that around the plate. Repeat on your other plate. There we go. And once that's sealed, all you do is you leave them on your counter and they can defrost. I generally do that after I have breakfast, and then by the time I want to make the stromboli, the bread's ready to go. Another option is you can do it the night before, put it in your refrigerator, and it will be ready to go the next morning. And now to assemble the stromboli. First, you want to dust your work area with some flour. Be pretty liberal with it so you don't have any sticking. Since we're making two strombolis, we're going to have a huge work area. We'll take the first bread dough, and if you ever liked playing with Play-Doh as a kid, this is going to be the good part. We're going to press it down. Make sure you get some flour on the top of it as well. And then take a rolling pin and we're going to roll that out. This is the hardest part about making the stromboli, as the dough has a mind of its own. Every time you stretch it out, it goes back because of the gluten that's in the dough. But if you have some patience, a little bit of muscle, you'll eventually get there. You want to aim for a piece of dough that's approximately 12 by 18. If it's not exact, no worries. This is not an exact science. As long as it tastes good, that's the only thing your family's going to care about. Okay, we're going to call that one done and start the second one. Same idea, make sure you press it out first. Might want to wear a kitchen apron for this. It does get a little messy. No need to have a fancy rolling pin. This rolling pin was my grandmother's. I've had the option over the years of getting a new fancy rolling pin, some of them made of marble and whatnot, but I just couldn't give up grandma's. It just puts a little bit more love into your cooking. And this dough is being a little bit more cantankerous than the first piece. That's okay, we'll just be patient. If it starts to stick, just add a little bit more flour. Not a big deal. I think we almost have it here. Sometimes you break some of those air bubbles. That helps it maintain its shape. I think we're going to go with that. That's pretty good. Now, on top of the dough, in any order whatsoever, we're going to be placing some salami that has been very thinly sliced, very thin. In case you're wondering, this is boar head Italian dry salami or dry Italian salami. A third of a pound, if I can get that out. And just put it right down the center. Don't get too close to the edges because you're going to need to seal the seam. And I think we can put 2 more up there. And we'll put approximately the same amount over here. And yes, that got a little shorter. It happens. You know what? I think I am going to have a little bit more patience with this stromboli and roll that again. I think I'll be a little bit happier if it's a little longer. Be easier to work with. Okay, well, let's see if it'll cooperate this time. Okay. Since I got more, I'm going to take a line down the center. Just keep putting it on until it is used up or you feel you have enough. If you think there's too much meat in these strombolis, then only get a 1/4 pound of meat. You can tailor them to what you and your family enjoy. Little piece of the casing still left. That's another piece of casing. We'll just take that off. Then on top of that, we're going to be putting some boar's heads pepperoni. This is a sandwich style pepperoni from Boar's Head. Again, this is 1/3 pound, thinly sliced. Repeat on the other one. And now for a 1/3 pound, this is the Boar's Head Virginia ham. If you don't like Virginia ham, get a different kind of ham. If you don't like pepperoni, get a different meat. I've made these with ham, turkey, and roast beef before just to use up those lunch meats that we had laying around the house. And now we're going to put some cheese on. We're going to start with a 1/3 pound of sliced mozzarella. If you would prefer to use a mozzarella that has been shredded, feel free to do so. And you'd need maybe about 4 ounces. When I asked the deli guy to slice this thin, I think this is the thinnest slice they got. And that is fine. On top of that, we are going to put 1/3 pound of thinly sliced provolone. And we got one more cheese yet, and this is grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Please do yourself a favor and grate your own. Do not get the canned stuff. That canned stuff, I don't know how they can even call it cheese. Put as much or as little as you like on top. We'll put a little bit more on this one over here. And that's done. Then on top of the cheeses, we're going to put about a teaspoon of oregano. Again, if you like more, use more. If you don't like that much, don't use that much. It's not a big deal. And we'll get about another teaspoon for the second one. And we're going to follow that up with about a teaspoon of dried parsley flakes. And a few turns from the peppermill. Okay, now it's Play-Doh time again, and we get to seal these up. We're going to get our pan ready. We have a big jelly roll pan, and we're lining it with parchment paper. And you simply roll the sides together. And then you pinch the dough together. Sometimes it's helpful to use a little bit of water to help maintain that seal. And then on the ends, you're just going to stretch them up and over. Again, trying to achieve a really good seal. And when you have it sealed, we're just going to turn it over and then place it on the pan. Repeat the same thing with the second stromboli. One end, two ends, flip it over, and onto the sheet it goes. I just like to make sure that all the ends are definitely tucked in to hopefully prevent leakage. That doesn't mean there won't be any, it just hopefully prevents it. And now I need to get a knife so that we can make some slices so that the steam can escape while it bakes, and hopefully they won't explode that way. Okay, now that I got my knife, I'm going to make several slits. And again, that allows the steam to escape. Now, before we started the whole process, we preheated our oven to 375 degrees, and I believe it's ready. So let's take the stromboli and put it into the oven. And here they are straight to the oven. We did end up baking them for an extra 10 minutes. And now what you want to do is leave them cool so the filling settles inside for another 10 to 15 minutes. So that when you slice them, the filling stays in and doesn't run out all over the pan. You can serve the stromboli as is, or you can serve it topped with spaghetti sauce. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today learning to make stromboli. Please take some time and like, comment, and subscribe our channel. See you later.